Who is Twink? I'm still trying to work that one out. I guess I'm on a journey of rehabilitating Twink's mind. One Christmas I got a Zenith E camera, which was like a Russian-made tank camera. Big, bulky, heavy thing. I used to take these pictures, and this picture here I'm going to show you, and then we'll cut to the picture. There was a photographic competition, and there was a section for children. And it was judged so well that they didn't put it in the children's category, they put it in the adult category, and I became a runner-up. Being 16 in 1977 during the punk thing, it was a huge deal. So I started to get interested in taking pictures of local bands and that type of stuff. As you do, you develop your contacts, and I got friendly with the drummer of the Jam. And I got invited to do a gig at the Michael Sobel Centre in Finchley. And I took the famous shot of them in the corridor between encores. And then, I don't know, maybe a week later, Paul Weller came up and said, "Hey, Twink, how do you fancy doing the album cover? Would you consider it?" "Yeah, sure, I'll consider it." "When can you do it?" "Well, tomorrow." So I had total access. I heard about, in June of '82, that Paul Weller decided he was going to disband the band, and of course I was devastated. I think, you know, just getting to a point where I'm working for the best band or the biggest band in the country, and then all of a sudden he wants to pull the plug on it. Oh no. And of course I didn't realise at the time that that sort of high and low was going to be for the rest of my life. Unbeknownst to me, I think I've been bipolar all my life.
I've got two ambitions in life. One's to get on the Jules Holland show, and the other one's to walk on Port and Coronation Street. And then you can happily box me up, you know. I've known Neil since he married Liz. I was a good friend of his wife's for years before I met Neil. But I've known Neil for about 30 years now. Well, Neil was a photographer for the Jam at one stage, and he was always interested in music. And he asked if I would write a song, and I had to go writing a song. And it seemed to come together. We recorded the song, but I think since then we've done many a song together, you know.
Yeah.
But he's always into the producing side. He likes all these little gadgets and things like that.
How are you feeling about the gig itself, like the one in Cardiff?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm putting a lot of practice in. I'm more the lyricist, but I'm doing a lot more rhythm now. But I'm generally on the writing side of the songs, you know.
Yeah.
To Neil, I think it's everything. If he didn't have music, I honestly don't think he'd be here at this day, you know. It's definitely everything to him.
I think music has always been a lifelong love. I mean, because it does soothe your soul. But you've got to find that you've got a soul in the first place, and that's the problem with mental health. Sometimes you don't realise what you've got until it's taken away. And once it's taken away, you're always striving to get back to where you were. It helps me remember that, you know, I've had a fairly successful life, even though I've had suicide attempts and all that sort of stuff. I'm still here. Right, okay. Welcome to the first rehearsal of the Tinstones, and trying out a new album track. It's going to be on our new album called The Lost Chance Saloon, and we're just going to hit into some G12 bar. Okay, right. Hang on, I'll do an intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, baby. I can't do it. How it developed was because of the reclusive nature of where I am, and the very tight-knit people that I'm friends with. developed into this idea that, well, okay, I still could be reclusive, so therefore I could maintain some of the protection around me, and using the internet, you know, to find musicians who might be willing to contribute towards the project. And initially it was, you know, video conferencing and sending a backing track and then recording the backing track and then sending the backing track to me so I could fit it in and mix it and all that sort of stuff. I'm using technology to try and break down some of the issues that I've got. And we're now got to a point where I feel confident enough to work with Alan and Brian.
I look at you, that's the best way.
Just look at
right,
me.
look at you, right. Not look at the wind and not look up, then look at you. But basically focus as you, because you asked me questions, right. Who am I? Alan Harrison. One of the lads at a barbecue, and then I went up to this barbecue and basically Neil was there. So I took the harps up there and then Neil started to do something on his banjo, a bit bluesy. I thought, oh, that's quite nice. There was a lad there playing guitar, so I just started getting my harps out and started just jamming along with them, you see. Then Neil goes, I got a phone call one night at home, and it was Neil. Just said, this is, you remember me, I was at the banjo, I said, all right. He said, I'm just trying to put a bit of thing together, I'm recording a few songs and that, do you fancy, I would like a bit harp on something, so if you might want to come along, and I came along and that was it, yes sir, and here I am.
How are you feeling about the Cardiff gig?
Well, a bit apprehensive, but I mean, it's a bit off, isn't it now, it's a bit I've got a bit time to practice and everything else, so I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to it. And just the adventure, right now, it's about adventure, isn't it? There's nothing to lose, you know what I mean?
The thing is, it's not a band.
Well, what is it then?
To be honest with you, it's probably more to do with the fact that it's rehabilitation for me, and I'm using music as some type of therapy. When you consider that 25% of the population will suffer some form of mental ill health in their lifetime, if we say that there's 60 million people in the UK, that's 15 million people. Bipolar or mental ill health is no respecter of status, creed or colour. Throughout the course of the films, we'll probably see some bad days. We'll probably see some good days. The difference now of my way of looking at life is I'm trying to get more good days than bad days. Whereas previously, I was getting more bad days than good days. You know, I'll be happy if I get a 50-50 split. There's so much to be learned and to be discovered about the illness. That is why I'm really, really interested in doing these films. I want to investigate what is poor mental ill health, because everybody's experience will be different, but there will be commonality, there will be common ground between different types of illnesses. And that's why I want to do this. It's because I want to find out what it's like to be normal. That's made up on the spot, man.
That's it,
We're talking life and death issues here. We're not talking about some namby-pamby, can't get out of bed because he doesn't want to go out of bed, or whatever it might be. It's a little bit more serious than that.
Yes, absolutely.
A good day, can be as simple as getting through the day. And a bad day might be thinking, well, should I go on the internet to find out how to tie a hangman's noose? What's the most amazing thing about the brain?
God, there's so much, I think. I suppose the most amazing thing about it, though, is